What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Retro Night. That is right, we're bringing back Retro Night for a few more episodes during Metal Gear March, and then we'll go from there and see where I want to go with Retro Night. I do have more games that I want to pre-record and have them ready to go so I can just knock out Retro Night episodes. But yeah, so let's get into this one. We are doing Metal Gear for the MSX. That is essentially it's like a computer video gaming system for that came out in Japan and Europe. So everybody, not everybody, Metal Gear is an overhead military action adventure stealth video game, and it was released in 1987, as old as me, by Konami, and of course made by Hideo Kojima. Or as the guy at GameStop I went to, an employee of GameStop goes, Hideo Kojira? Yeah, Kojira. It's like he doesn't even have an R in his name, in both names. And I turned around and I look at the guy, I go, it's I always get the first name wrong, because I have a thing where I'm trying to pronounce a word and I'll stutter it. Hideo Kojima. I turn around and tell the guy that, and he just looks at me. I was like, well, you're telling the fucking customer the wrong shit, so someone's got to correct you. But anyways, let's keep going into it. So yeah, so let's see, what was it released for? I know Ultra Games made a shitty port for the NES, but this version was only available in Japan and Europe, I believe. But you could get it on the Xbox 360 version and the PS2 version of Metal Gear Solid 3 Substance, which is like the special version of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. It has like the whole time paradox shit and all that stuff. But yeah, you can get it on those versions and you can play them. You don't have to beat the game or anything to unlock it, which is cool. So yeah, apparently it's also it's packaged with Metal Gear Solid the Twin Snakes premium package. What the fuck that means, for the Nintendo GameCube. So this version was ported to the MSX, the Commodore 64, MS-DOS, mobile phone. It's on the Wii Virtual Console. And then it says Nintendo Entertainment Center, but I am not allowing that because the Ultra Games NES version of Metal Gear is a port, and the game doesn't even start the same way, because in the Ultra Game one, you parachute in instead of like in the MSX2 version, you actually swim in, sort of like how Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation. You start by swimming into the base and like sneaking in and all that stuff. So yeah, so pretty much let's get into a little bit of the story. So near the end of the 20th century, the West discovers that a weapon of mass destruction is being constructed inside Outer Heaven, a fortified state founded by a legendary mercenary 200 kilometers north of Glasberg, South Africa. The Special Forces Unit Foxhound sends top agent Grey Fox to infiltrate the fortress, assess the situations, and neutralize the threat. Foxhound loses contact with Grey Fox a few days later, with his last transmission being Metal Gear. To discover what happened to Grey Fox, Foxhound Commander Big Boss sends his newest recruit, Solid Snake, into the area in an operation codenamed Intrude in 313. So yeah, pretty much the whole game is you go in there, you take you just sneak around, pretty much the same premise of most Metal Gear. Sneak around, don't get caught, because if you get caught, then you have to hide from the enemies, such forth. I've played the NES version. I will say the MSX version is 10 times better. The NES version, like I said, is a port that Kojima had no part in whatsoever. It was done by Ultra Games. It will say Konami on it, because Konami owns the rights to Metal Gear, obviously. But Ultra Games did the port. It's not even a port, I guess. I guess it's their own version. That's where you get all those misspelling errors or weird sentences like "I feel asleep," instead of "I fell asleep," "I feel asleep," and so forth. But I got there's a little story timeline. So this Metal Gear game takes place in 1995. So from the way it goes Snake Eater, Peace Walker, Ground Zeroes, The Phantom Pain, Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. That's the sequel. Then it goes Metal Gear Solid, The Twin Snakes, Sons of Liberty, and Guns of the Patriots, which would be Metal Gear Solid 4. So obviously 4 is the last of all the games. So if you want to go in order, you want to start with Snake Eater, go Peace Walker, Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, Metal Gear, this one for the MSX, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. I keep saying solid at the end of it because I'm just so used to that. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, that's for the MSX as well. And then Metal Gear Solid or Twin Snakes, they're both the same one, just Twin Snakes is pretty much like a upgraded version of it for the GameCube. Sons of Liberty is Metal Gear Solid 2, and then Guns of the Patriots, which is Metal Gear Solid 4. So the whole story takes place from 1964 all the way to 2014. So yeah. Yeah, they even mentioned the Famicom. They call it a port, but I'm not gonna say it's a port because it's all just not. I mean, the story might be the same, but everything you do in it is completely different, I would say. Just from that opening part being different, where you parachute in compared to swimming in and sneaking into the base from the back. I'm just gonna say it's not the same. They tried to make it, but they were like, fuck it, let's just do this. But yeah, so it's a good game. I would recommend playing it. So like I said before, the versions you can play this on is apparently the Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes Premium package for the Nintendo GameCube, Metal Gear Substance 3, Metal Gear Solid 3 Substance is like it's the version that came out after the original Metal Gear Solid 3, the Snake Eater version. This is Substance. This just has a whole bunch of bonus shit. So it's on the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3, and the Xbox 360, and the PlayStation Vita. So the PS3 version and the Xbox 360 version will be the HD editions of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. And you want to start up Metal Gear Solid 3 to access Metal Gear for the MSX and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake for the MSX as well. Same thing goes with the PlayStation 3. I'm pretty sure the PlayStation Vita version start up Metal Gear Solid 3 to get those versions of the game. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's a good game. It blows the fucking NES one out of the water. I'm so glad I played this version. And like I said, I played the NES version. I've always seen like speed runs of this. I'm like, dude, this looks like a really good game. Too bad we didn't have the MSX here. But yeah, so anyways, guys, I got nothing else to say about the Metal Gear game. This one's awesome. You can also probably get a ROM. Yeah, there's ROM and emulators too, so you can probably play it on your computer for free too. But if you got any of those versions I listed below, pop it in and give it a try. I liked it. Anyways, guys, Retro out.